You are live.
Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today, and I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Wednesday, and we are diving into MLB and CFL. We're going to break down some angles, matchup, and sharp edges that you need to have a profitable day. Let's get to work. We got Gianni, who's going to come on and talk the Steam Report. We'll see if we got a busy day or not. Ross, the boss, Benjamin's going to talk Orioles and Guardians. And Andrew McInnis is going to join us, and we'll talk a little CFL, hidden gem in the betting markets, CFL. Let's get started. You guys know what to do. Hit that like button. Really helps the algorithm out. Let's bring on Gianni, and let's talk Steam Report. Gianni, happy Wednesday. Are we busy or not busy in the Steam Report today?
Busy morning.
Oh, okay.
Mostly all Major League Baseball, but very busy because it starts early today. So I've been firing from really early in the morning. I have a ton of stuff for you guys. Good morning, my man Block. Best of luck today, brother. Best of luck this weekend. So you want to go over some of the MLB? There's a lot to get to, so I'll dive right in. Let's go over some of the sides and totals so far. Some of the early stuff. 903 San Diego, the minus 140, and the under at 8 up to 125. 910 Cleveland, minus 125. 926 Seattle, minus 130. 901 Washington, plus the 120, and the under 9 up to minus 130. 905 San Francisco, plus 145 and 140. Really strong total. Detroit, Philadelphia going over 8.5 up to minus 130 and over 9, even at even money. That's opposite the public. They're really betting that one under. It stuck out a little bit. And 909 under 8.5 Baltimore, Cleveland. And finally, Colorado, 908 Colorado plus 165, which is opposite St. Louis, which is one of those series bets I mentioned yesterday. There were 4 series bets placed on Monday. That was the Mets, the Cubs, St. Louis, and the Yankees. The Mets series already won. The Mets won the first 2 games. That one's over. That cashed. The next 3, Cubs, St. Louis, the Yankees, all 3 series are 1-1 with the outcome pending on today's game. So we need the Cubs, we need St. Louis, and we need the Yankees to cash those series bets. But like I said, Colorado got some steam today, which is opposite that St. Louis bet. But you could actually scalp it. So it's interesting. I'm going to talk to somebody. I know the one of the dudes really well. See if that's just a buyback, more like a scalp on that series bet and why they're betting on Colorado.
I was going to ask you.
They laid like minus 135. Now they could get plus 145. That's a free money right there by betting the dog. And why wouldn't you do that? So
walk us through this, because this is kind of a passion of mine. I think people screw up futures all the time. I think you make futures to give yourself a good chance to guarantee yourself money later on down the line. Yep. And it breaks my heart when people are like, nope, I'm riding that 30 to 1 when you could have hedged out and guaranteed 10 units. So walk us through slowly these series bets and what are the hedging potentials and how can we guarantee ourselves profit?
Yeah, I mean, a simple case is this series right now. We bet St. Louis before the series began at minus 135. They split the first 2 games. So going into this 3rd game, this will determine the outcome on that series bet. So right here, I got a bet on St. Louis minus 135 for 4 units. Okay. I could come over here now and bet Colorado plus 145 for 4 units. If St. Louis wins, I break even. I hit my series bet. I lose my dog bet on Colorado. No harm, no foul. If St. Louis wins, though, if Colorado wins, I lose my series bet at minus 135 for 4 units, but I win my straight bet today for 4 units at plus 145. So I'm actually making money. I'm turning a profit at 0 risk. So I'm either breaking even or turning a profit. That's the best position you could find yourself in as a trader. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. I know a ton of people that have gone broke in sports betting, in trading, because they didn't take profits, because they let it ride. You've been to a craps table. I know you guys have been to a craps table. How many times are guys pressing, and all of a sudden they got like $3,000 out there? They were starting with like $500, and they got 3,000 out there on all these numbers, and all it takes is 1-7. That's it. 1-7 rolled, and it's going to wipe out everything. And I see it time and time again. Nobody has ever gone broke taking a profit. Everybody says the right things. Don't hedge. Hedging's for gardeners. That's all that nonsense. Dude, let me tell you something. Every hour, every minute, things change. Situations change. Information changes. You have to be quick in this industry. If you're a trader, you have to be quick, and you can't let your ego dictate your decisions. You have to use reason to dictate your decision. And as information trickles in and changes, you got to be willing to flip your opinion. Like, you can't stay steadfast. That's how you get yourself in trouble. Because with these kind of decisions, they have to be instantaneous. That's why you train yourself through years and years and years and years of doing this, where it all becomes automatic. Like, to me, when I saw that, it became automatic. Like, the first thing my instinct is, okay, they're hedging. That's a free bet. Why wouldn't they take it? I'm not, again, because as information comes in, things change. What you were thinking Monday and what you were thinking on Wednesday could be two different things. I mean, they could have tired arms in the bullpen. I haven't broken down that matchup individually yet, but again, the matchup changes day by day. So if unless you are really sure that you're still getting the best of it and your opinion hasn't changed at all, then to me, hedging, middling, scalping, those things are automatic. Those are assets that you have to take advantage. Like, those are tools, forgive me, wrong word, tools that in your arsenal as a bettor that you need to use to your advantage. Anytime you could lock up a profit, you do it. Nobody ever went broke doing that. Again, if you're sure you have the best of it sometimes and you're still strong in that opinion, don't do it. You know what I mean? Again, you're getting 3-1 on a coin flip, and even money proposition, and you like your position still, let it ride. You know you're getting the best of it. Win or lose, you have a great bet. But if you're not there, if you don't think I still that sure, then lock in your profit and move on to the next trade. That's it. You don't marry it, don't hate it, just trade it. That's it.
I've never understood why hedging is looked at as a sign of weakness. Because honestly, that's what
like,
it comes down to. Everybody,
you're afraid to let your bet ride. No, I like money. I live in the real world where money has more value than the idea of money. You know what I mean? Put it in my hand.
Yes. You know what's weak? Losing your bet.
Yeah.
Not turning a profit on your
dude,
bet.
There's a reason the brokest people amongst us have the best ideas. They have all the answers. They just didn't get lucky. They just haven't gotten lucky. It never fails. In my family, my friends, the most broke amongst us have the best ideas. They're the ones we should be listening to. They just haven't gotten lucky yet. The rest of us that are working our asses off to have any kind of success, we're all fools. We're the dummies. But they're the ones haven't had their time yet, haven't gotten lucky yet. For some reason, they're broke. But it just hasn't gotten their turn yet. That's it. Yeah, never fails. Take your money when you get a chance.
The guy that says he would have been a professional athlete if his high school coach hadn't held him back.
Yeah. I was the next Michael Jordan. All I needed was that coach. If that coach, if he didn't hate me because I'm Greek, then that would have been it. He had a bad Euro one day. He got sick on Greek food. And just because I was that Greek kid, he didn't give me more minutes. I was the best kid on that football team, but he didn't let me play quarterback. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah. It sucks, Johnny.
Everyone made a mistake all the way through.
I was the best player on the JV bench, but I would have made it, baby. Yep. I would have made it.
All I needed was an opportunity. Give me minutes, coach.
Yep. Let's dip back into baseball real quick before I let you know. Any of these moves really surprising to you? You mentioned that you're looking at maybe some of this money coming in as possible, some hedge. Was there a move that kind of took you off guard?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, the most heavily bet, where was it? San Diego over Miami. Here's why. For some reason, it's early. Oh, that just started. Forget it. That's if you got live, there's more San Diego money for whatever reason against Miami that I ain't seen in days. Like, all one-sided, and now it makes sense. See, it's the early game, so they're trying to get out ahead and make some money today. That got so much straight bets, so much parlay money all over San Diego, and I get it. I'm not excited to run out and bet Miami either. But yeah. Again, San Diego below 500 on the road. I just don't see the advantages to lay this kind of price. So that one really stuck out to me. And let me see for a later game for you guys real quickly. Cleveland, but that got steamed. Yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary. Again, you know me, I keep it real. Nothing sticking out. It looks normal day. The favorites are getting a little more of the money. The overs getting a little more of the money, and that's about it. Kansas City and the Cubs, that one's the most one-sided over. They're betting that over blindly. But if you look at the line, I don't think it's getting any respect. But that's one of them that sticks out later. That is like 99% on the over. Bets, slips, money, they're all over.
All right. Well, what do you have up for clients on this Wednesday?
All right. The MMA package is up and available. 3 bets are in there, including a 5% big move. Coming off a loser last week on those. Tell you when I win, tell you when I lose. We coming off a loss in a 5%, but this one I fired right away on Sunday, the day after UFC 318. So far, so good. The line is moving in our favor like it's supposed to do. We got out ahead of the market. So far, so good. That package is available. The futures is available as well. It's combined NFL and college football. About 9 or 10 bets in there right now, including a 5% with the line still available. And going to have a baseball package up within the next 30 to 45 minutes at the latest. And just trying to do some damage between now and football season.
Love it. Gianni The Greek. Interesting talk about the hedging and stuff. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities in football season. So we'll keep talking about that. Gianni The Greek, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday. Myself, I've got 2 plays up right now. And actually, we got a 4% MLB team total that goes off this afternoon. Did really well yesterday on that Nationals over 3.5. Pretty much never in doubt. I believe they were at 6 runs in the 6th inning. So don't wait on that one. This play goes off this afternoon. It goes off in a few hours. 4% MLB team total. And very first 5% golf play of the year. So talk about rare. We do not fire off 5% golf plays very often. Never had a losing golf season. Coming off a really nice 2-0 week at the Open Championship. So excited about this golf play. It involves LIV. It involves PGA. So you get that play, you're going to get all golf plays for the entire week. It's been one of our strongest sports. 63% we've hit on totals in the last 365 days. So we're running hot in totals, running hot in golf. If you want that action, premium spot today and tomorrow, go grab them, wt.buzz/AL. All right, let's go all around the world. We got a couple of free plays here. Not a lot of action here. Barry, you're Barry Bader. You're actually you're correct here. So let's take a look at this free plays and. Yeah, well, Yankees and Blue Jays. Blue Jays over 3.5 on the team total. You said it. Fried, not been great recently. Giving up 3 or more runs in 3 straight starts. That's 14 innings and 11 runs. So not great here. Bullpen is okay, but this 3.5 team total seems really low. Blue Jays have gone over in all 5 games since the All-Star break. And then we'll take a look at the Tigers and the Pirates. Nerfy, this is a Ralph Michaels special. Tigers on a 7-0 Nerfy run last 7 road games, and they've only scored a first inning run once in the last 16 road games. And the Pirates have failed to score a run in 16 straight games in the first inning. Yikes. So Tigers and Pirates, Nerfy, and the Blue Jays over the team total. So, great catch there, Barry. That blister might be affecting Fried a little bit. So. All right, let's bring on Ross the Boss Benjamin. We're going to talk some Orioles and Guardians. Ross, happy Wednesday. How are you today?
Hey, if I was any better, I would think I was in heaven. And but you know what? I still got a pulse, Andy, so I got to stay grounded. If I could piggyback a little bit off that hedging conversation you and Gianni just had, you asked me a couple of weeks ago about a sleeper in college football. And I gave you Arizona State to win the national title at odds of plus 10,000. And it seems like an absurd bet, but my strategy was quite simple. I'm banking on them just to get to the Big 12 championship game. And if they do so, I'm going to hedge against them in that game. And if they go all the way to the national championship game, the ensuing 4 games after that, still assuring myself of a profit. So, I just thought that was a pertinent conversation as it applied to my pick on Arizona State, which seems like it's out of left field at plus 10 10,000, but there's a method behind my madness.
No, I agree. I have said all along that I think futures are, I think people mess them up all the time. And I think that people leave so much money on the table. I want to be holding a ticket come playoffs or come late in the season where I can hedge it. It's one of the reasons why I love the in-season win totals, like in NFL and NBA. You can do a lot of damage there, and you can just, those little units, those, you add the one unit here or there, man, it really adds up. So yeah, absolutely. Let's keep tabs on that Arizona State. That'll be fun if they can get there.
Remember,
you're
17 returning starters on a team that went to the college football playoffs last year, won the Big 12. Yes, they're missing Scatterborough, but experienced starting quarterback, which is always key, right, Andy? And,
yes.
Almost pulled an upset in the playoffs last year. So we'll see. It's a calculated risk.
Well, let's talk another calculated risk. Let's talk about the Orioles and the Guardians here. Baltimore 1-4 since the All-Star break. Cleveland 4-1. So interesting Cleveland run here. You got Eflin for Baltimore. Who do you like in this matchup today?
Yeah, I mean, you spoke of Eflin. His last 7 starts, a 6.68 ERA, a 1.69 WHIP. That qualifies as poor form. He's coming off a horrible outing in his last time out. Doesn't figure to get much help from a Baltimore bullpen over their last 5 games since returning from the break. 9.82 ERA as a staff, a 2.46 WHIP. And this is really eye-popping. The Baltimore bullpen in those previous 5 games, they've struck out 13 hitters, but they've walked 16, which is unheard of, or rare, I should say. So that puts up a big red flag for me. The Orioles also have lost 6 of 7. They've allowed 6 runs or more in 5 of those 7 games. This current Cleveland Guardians roster is 8 for 26 against Eflin in their career. A 308 team batting average, 357 on base percentage. Not a huge sample size, but also worth noting. In Baltimore, 1-10 on the road this year when facing AL Central teams like Cleveland. The Indians. I knew I was going to do that one time this year. And Andy, I picked you to do it with. All right, so you should feel special. The Guardians, 10-2 over their last 12.
Thank you, Ross. I'm honored to be a part of calling them back.
Honored you.
It's perfectly
made
fine.
Special over my failure. Yes. The Cleveland Guardians are 10-2 in their last 12 games. They scored 6 runs or more in 5 of their last 6. Slade Ciccone on the mound today. Look, over the last 3 starts, a 108 WHIP, which is very good form. And more importantly, he's averaged 7.1 innings pitched per start over his last 3. And when you consider the fact that Cleveland's bullpen has been a bit shaky since the break, and also a bit shaky for the better part of this season, that's protecting your bullpen when you can give your team that many innings. The big thing with Ciccone is he has to stay away from giving up the long ball, which has been his enigma in recent starts. Cleveland, by the way, 23-10 this year versus teams like Baltimore, who have been outscored by 0.5 or more runs per game, and that includes 10-3 at home. The Guardians are also 14-5 at home this year versus teams with a losing record like Baltimore. Nice price here, I think. Very attractive price, and I'm going to take advantage of it by taking the Cleveland Guardians minus 125 as a money line favorite at home over the Baltimore Orioles.
Nice. I like the play. I've asked a couple people this. Any teams you got your eye on for the second half of the season? Could be a team you're looking to fade. Could be a team you're looking to support. Any teams that you have your eye on?
Yeah, well, Atlanta, if they have if they don't fall apart up until the trade deadline, I think there's a good possibility that that's a team that you want to keep an eye on because they've vastly underachieved. They haven't won on the road, and that's going to change. There's no way they're going to continue with that type of road record as long as they don't dismantle their roster or they have a bad run up until the trade deadline, which would force them to dismantle their roster for the most part. I'm going to keep an eye on the Atlanta Braves, and you can get some pretty good value on them, especially on the road as an underdog, because with the road record right now, they're going to be undervalued on the road down the stretch. Again, it all depends on them not tearing things down at the trade deadline, and it all depends on how they do up until the trade deadline from this point on.
I love it, Ross. Congratulations on your continue to win, especially these free plays. Johnny already beat you to the punch and posted some of your streaks in here. So tell us a couple streaks and tell us what you have up at Wager Talk.
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing that up, Andy, and it's always a pleasure to get a compliment from you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we had a Major League Baseball 5% best bet up right now for sale. The game goes after 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight. 7-2 since last August with my Major League Baseball 5% best bets. I am on a 28-12 current Major League Baseball run. That's good for 70%. Also, number 2 in money earned, or units earned, I should say, at WagerTalk.com in Major League Baseball this season. And Andy, since May the 13th, I'm on a 78-48 run, 62%. plus 70.55 units with all my premium picks over at WagerTalk.com. And folks, don't forget, college football, number 1 last year, number 2 2 years ago, number 1 in units earned over the last 2 college football seasons. Right now, early bird special up until July 31st, $4.99. Take advantage of that. It'll take you right through the national championship game. Also, right now, 1 year all access pass from yours truly, $1,188. That's $811 off the regular price. Plus the fact when you purchase that from me, 365 days of all my picks, you're also going to get a 25% bonus coupon to use on any other handicapper throughout the 365 days at WagerTalk.com. Doesn't get any better than that, Andy.
I love it. I love it, Ross Benjamin. You didn't use your catchphrase. You didn't say, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, well, that was getting a little stale. And, I'll come up with something else that'll make you smile.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for the breakdown, Ross. Continued success, and go grab that 5% play from Ross Boss Benjamin. Take care, Ross. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
Yeah. Interesting conversations going on in the chat. Rob wanted to know any shows to go at in Vegas. Rob, listen, don't pay for a show. Just go to Fremont Street at 2 a.m. That's all the show you need. Like you're going to be entertained and you're going to save a lot of money. Just Fremont Street. I would also recommend New York at 3 a.m. Last time I stayed there. Wow, that was a lot of fun at 3 a.m. by the craps table. All right, let's bring on Andrew McInnis and let's talk a little CFL. Guys, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 210,000 subscribers on the Wager Talk Today channel. Amazing, Andrew, isn't it? 210,000. I think you and I were around when we were celebrating like 20,000. like 200,000 people ago. So, what's your take on CFL so far this season?
Andy, could you give me like 10 seconds? I just had a nosebleed and I have a bunch of blood all over my nose. Can you just kill 10 seconds for me?
Absolutely. There's a comment in the comment section about
that's a first, raised. That's a definite first. But of course, let's be real, Andy. Of course, the hockey guy is the one who's like, "Hey, man, I got a bloody nose," because he was probably beating somebody's ass. He was getting ready to go to get on here. He had to beat up Ross Benjamin to get a spot on the show.
Well, so Dan and I had a bet going today. So I moved offices, and Dan said that the over/under would be half a person to notice that I changed offices, and I was like, "That's an easy
sharp line."
Sharp line. The sharps came in on the over, and we were dead wrong. Nobody in the chat has mentioned that I moved offices. I'm so
I know we're missing you had amazing photos that are always in the background. I thought somebody would notice it. I thought the half line was a bum line, and then Andy, I would have cashed.
I know it was an easy one. Now I will say the tough beat on under half a nosebleed. on the show. Tough. I had a 5% best bet on minus 81,000 on.
I know it's been on an insane streak, Andy. I think it's been on like a 368-0 streak, and of course, our man McInnis had to break the streak.
All right, so
the thing that makes me feel better is that it would look like a bullshit excuse if I like said, "Hey guys, I'm going to be late," so it's better to come on, give you the proof. And also, you guys from Prop It Up know that it's happened before. I thought I cleaned it up. I was like, holy shit, dude, like clean yourself up a little bit. But good to be on here with you, Andy. Always love when the chat is just bumping the way it is right now. Good to see that. But you asked my take on the CFL. I just want to add this. And Andy, I know you can appreciate this because somehow I'm going to try and correlate this to props. You know how, Andy, you would say sometimes like when a number like moves in a prop, like over 2.5 shots so many times, and they move a guy to 3.5, then you kind of want to stay off. Well, that's kind of what you're seeing right now in the CFL. There's a lot of numbers where it's like, okay, I was comfortable laying this number with a certain team right now, and then it's overreaction. Like people call overreaction week 2. We're now like a little over a third of the way through the season in the CFL. This is where it's like, okay, the league, the odds makers think this team is this much better than they really are, or this team is this much worse than they actually are. And what I love is that this is, college football season, NFL training camps beginning. Unfortunately, I'd love to be able to tell you that my best CFL weeks are when there's nothing else going on, because that'd probably help sales wise and tension wise. But this is the best time to bet CFL, in my opinion. Like you have 7 weeks of data, you have a lot of information. And also, if anybody didn't care before, they certainly don't care now that NFL training camps and college football and everything's going on. So to me, this next 6-week stretch is probably the best time to bet the CFL.
I love it. Listen, Andrew, the chat is just having a great time. Saying you're too nice to fight. There's no way you could have gotten a nosebleed from a bar fight this time in the morning.
Rob.
Is hockey back? Bumping, interesting choice of words. I love the chat. We got the best chat around. You guys are awesome. All right. Andrew had to fight an old lady for a loaf of bread. Yes.
Oh, man.
All right, let's get serious here. Let's break down a game here. Let's do Montreal and Calgary. What's your take on this game?
All right, Andy. So I mentioned that, sometimes the numbers start to move a little bit more than they probably should have. And the second that a number looks a little bit different, that's when you want to go against it. And so today we're going to go against the Calgary Stampeders. And this is a team that is 5-0 ATS as an underdog. And all of those games where they covered the point spread as an underdog, they won outright. And I'm here to say that they have beat a lot of teams by more than 6 points. They have as that underdog role. But this is the spot I believe it's important to step in front of it. And I'll be fully transparent. Last week I faded them against Winnipeg when it was just a couple points as favorites. But Calgary went the whole entire season, Andy, as 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 point dogs. And now all of a sudden, Calgary is power rated number 1 in most people's ratings. And now they're laying 6.5. This is where things change. And don't get me wrong, guys. I know they have defeated teams by 7+ points, but this is where things change. I think this is where the overreaction comes. We're in week 8. Everyone falls in love with Calgary. And if you haven't made money on Calgary yet, it's probably too late. And I think that this Montreal team here getting 6.5 points, they've only lost by more than 7 points or 6 points once this season so far. This team has a ton of talent. Their run game is great. Their defense is one of the best in the league. In fact, they lead the league in defensive scores, which could help them potentially in a game where they're getting 6.5 points. But more importantly, it's a backup quarterback situation once again. And I've spoken a lot about how the backups are a major drop-off in the CFL compared to the number 1 guy. And not just a small drop-off, a big drop-off. But this does not merit a 6.5 point underdog number here for a team that I think is still a top 3 team in the CFL. So if you haven't made money on Calgary yet this year, then it's probably too late to jump in it. I've been watching WagerTalk Today every day. I see Nick Parsons doing some great work coming on with you talking CFL. I believe he's given out Calgary at least 2 or 3 times to you as an underdog. He's cashed all of them. But all of those, they were getting a ton of points, Andy. Now they're being, asked to lay points. I just feel like things are a little bit different now. This is where the market's caught up on them. We're going to take Montreal here plus 6.5. But don't forget to sprinkle that money line. Could be a great bet here this weekend.
Yeah, this is a great read. The books are making a very, very massive swing here. And they're probably sick of losing money on this team as underdog. So they're going, know what? You got to pay a pretty penny for that. So it's an excellent read. I agree. And yeah, what is the move with the power rate? Is it just because of the record, or is something changed? Like what's the big change in the power rankings? Because I feel most of the time power rankings, it takes a lot to move up and down. What's going on with the change here?
Oh, Andy, I could go on and on about this. The people I talk CFL betting with, we have some laughs about the CFL Twitter account itself releasing their power rankings and ratings, and everybody else out there not understanding how it works. We call it the power standings because they pretty much just base it off the standings in the league, and not as much like the actual preseason ratings that they had.
What's the records of the team? Let's just put them there, and then that's
pretty much.
Okay. Yeah,
but I gotta say, like I was, again, I know transparency is important to you as it is to me, and nobody likes losing 5% plays, but I got a hell of a run with 5% CFL plays. I was pissed last weekend to lose the one with Winnipeg coming off their bye. But to what you said there when I finished up about how much of a drastic move this is, where they were getting points every single week, now they're laying it. I think Calgary probably does deserve that number 1 or 2 spot now in the CFL. But at the end of the day, now, does this merit then to be laying this many points? We'll find out. But I'm also going to say this. This is going to be the time of year where you're going to see the overreactions. You're going to see the double-digit point spreads, the 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. I mean, if you see a 9.5, a lot of times it's going to go to 10.5 and 11.5. And, I know it's the CFL, but it's hard to beat any team by 12, 13 points in any league, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. The power standings. That's great. Yeah, that's a great way to lose a lot of money, is just rank the teams based on their record and then bet with that. So Steven asks, Andy and Andrew, are you going to be doing a football prop? Hell yeah, we're doing.
Of course.
That Monday night football show that we do every Monday is a banger, man. It's a lot of fun. So Mondays we do Monday night football. We'll talk about what happened on the weekend. We'll talk about looking forward. So absolutely, we're doing prop show, Steven. No doubt about that. So, all right, Andrew,
my favorite part about that show, Andy, was the fact that we were like looking at people to use next week or go against next week. And the cool thing is like, we don't necessarily want to be like, hey, this guy put up 125 yards. Let's back him moving forward. We can more so say, hey, this guy had an off week, but next week could be a good week to go at him. So that Monday show did really, really well.
Yeah, it's like everyone wants to watch Monday Night Football show to see the free plays and everything, but you're right. The most important thing is, hey, what did guys do this last weekend, and who are we looking to fade, and who are we looking to support? So absolutely buckle up. It's going to be an incredible, incredible year of Monday Night Football show. So, all right, tell everyone what you have up for clients, Andrew.
Yeah, we had a 5% play going this weekend, but I love this card overall, guys. So don't buy just one play. Get the rest of the CFL season. We're throwing in first 30 days of NFL for free. No extra cost, preseason, regular season. Get involved, guys. Just set it and forget it. You don't want to watch the CFL? I'll watch for you. I think it's a really, really good time of year to make money betting the CFL. And we're pretty much dead even right now as far as my results year-to-date CFL. But I love the card this weekend. It's bounce back weekend, 5%, 4% play. Locked and loaded. That play I gave out, Montreal plus 6.5. That's a client play as well. Ready to rock here, guys. Buy the season. Get first 30 days NFL at no extra cost.
Love it. Andrew McInnis, CFL expert. Make sure you take advantage of the special. And thanks for joining us, Andrew. So Dan, you are out on the East Coast. I started my fast last night. So I have not received any pictures from you. And of course, I started my fast, and everyone wants to talk seafood. in the
Well, yeah, Andy, tonight it is Mac and Manco pizza, some of the most inherently nostalgic pie that you can get, Ocean City, New Jersey. So a photo will be coming your way with the iconic Mac and Manco swirl. So don't worry, Andy. I will be hurting your fast this evening.
Man, I'm hungry already. Already.
I know. You're the sick one who said, "Hey, Dad, make sure you send me all your food photos." So this
I want it to hurt. Johnny's on day 3. Dan. Johnny started his a little bit ago. So Johnny, in the chat, how do you feel on day 3? Because if you've done a 3-day fast, the first 12 hours are fine. When you get to 24 hours, that's when you start to notice it. You just got to push through that 24 to like 36 hour, and then you're good. Then you start.
And you sound like people who are about to die from hypothermia, and they're like, you get really warm before the end, warm and euphoric. You're like, you just got to get to the part where your body's like, I'm gonna die, and then the warm euphoria sets in.
It's darkest before the dawn, Dan. That's what they say. So, yeah, look, Johnny, best thing you can do one every quarter now, and is legit life-changing. I agree, man. Day 1 sucks. Once you get to the 24-hour mark, it's brutal. Break through that wall, and you're going to feel great. Dan, I'm serious. My knee joints feel better. Your body just starts.
No, I believe it. When I've gotten back into intermittent fasting, and people are probably wondering, like, why isn't Dan going on camera? Well, I had a red-eye flight with my dog, so I look like absolute ass right now, Andy. So I'll be back on camera tomorrow. But yeah, I started doing the intermittent fasting again when you brought up, hey, I'm doing a 3-day fast, and already, you feel better. I feel like a lot of mental fog goes away. It actually helps you eat cleaner because you want to be eating foods that are, more sating than, snacking on chips or whatever. So you inspired me to at least go back, but I'm breaking the fast tonight and probably going to house about half a pie, Andy.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for fasting. When you go back out east, that's not.
It ain't the time. Cheesesteaks and pizza time, baby.
Let's go. All right, guys. 4% MLB play goes off here in about an hour and a half. If you're watching this live, go get that. Once we cash on that one, get that 5% golf play. Someone asked in the chat, 5% will include all golf plays. Yes, I don't know how many golf plays we'll have. It may just be 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4, depending on some of the individual rounds. But love this 5% play. So go grab that. It's our first 5% golf play of the year. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, we're at 210,000 subscribers. 210,000 people can't be wrong. So thanks for being a part of the Wager Talk family. We got a locked and loaded show tomorrow. So let's do it again tomorrow. Good luck on all your bets and take care.